Welcome to Grenzo's Goons. As far as opening hand goes, we've got one land. Does not sound good. I was playing against Omnath earlier. Ooh, that is a very suspect hand. Yeah, let's go mulligan. Yeah, we'll make this work. Yes, that is. I will take that. That is exactly what we're looking for. Mountain on top. Yeah, we're gonna put that on top. We played against Omnath earlier, and my opponent beat me pretty quick. That's pretty gnarly. Let's go and get down Swamp. I'll kind of explain it. Let's go and get down Soul Ring, and let's go and get down Stylus. There we go. All right, not too bad. And then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. But yes, welcome to Grenzo's Goons. Hope you're excited to go down to that dungeon and unlock some of those jail cells, let some of the people free. Yeah, good luck to our opponent. We are playing Grenzo, Dungeon Warden. Enters the battlefield, X+1 counters on it. Let's go ahead and get down Mountain. And let's go and go for Grenzo. This deck is designed... Actually, yeah, we'll go and go for Soul Ring. This deck is actually designed to where we can get down Grenzo simply as a 2-2, and then we can start powering through our deck. But it's also set up to where, if we can get a few extra counters on there and swing across, why not? At least maybe kind of hold back Omnath for a little bit. That'll be good. But yeah, so we're playing Grenzo, enters the battlefield, X counters. Then for 2-mana activation, put the bottom card of your library into your graveyard. If it's a creature card, power less than equal to Grenzo's power, put it onto the battlefield. We draw to... Ooh, God, look at this mana. I'm loving it. Let's go and get down Mountain. And then let's see. Yeah, this is pretty good. Let's get out Mana Crypt. Let's go for Panharmonicon. That's gonna be 1-2. This is beautiful. This is exactly what we want to get going. All right, let's go swing across the Grenzo. It's going to be a 4-4 coming across, and we don't really have to worry about anything with that activation, or just basically one forest over there. It's going to put him down to 26. That is 4 commander damage, and we'll go and pass the turn to our opponent. We are playing against Omnath, Locus of Mana. You do not lose unspent green mana as steps and phases in. Then Omnath gets +1/+1 for each Earthcraft, untapped target, basic land. Okay. You don't lose unspent green mana as steps and phases in. Omnath gets +1/+1 for each unspent green mana that you do have. They're going to untap that one. Do you want to go for a blind fire off Grenzo? Yeah, why not? Maybe we can take care of Wood Elves or something like that. There, get a Golem. All right, I'll take that. And then it's a 3-5 over there. Now, as far as what we've got, the game plan right now is basically we're going to just be going for blind fire Grenzo activation. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If we do hit the land drop, that will put us in a spot to where we can at least go for 4 activations next turn, which does sound pretty enticing. So we'll see what we can do. The only downside is we have to watch out for Earthcraft. But thankfully with this Grenzo deck, if we can get enough stuff on the board, especially Panharmonicon, maybe we can get out from underneath that. So let's go and choose Tails on this one. Always choose Tails on your Mana Crypt triggers. Lost the flip, as you can tell, it works out. 0 for 1 on our Mana Crypt triggers. Then we draw it to Big Game Hunter. Okay. And actually on this one, let's do this. Tap on a tap creature you control. Do we want to push in? Make sure actually, we'll just go and leave up Grenzo at this point right now. We have Big Game Hunter, so hopefully we can use Big Game Hunter to take care of Omnath once they kind of get that green mana into their mana pool. We'll just go and pass the turn, and hopefully get lucky off some of these Panharmonicon stuff. We do have some really good options to kind of put onto the battlefield. Untap target basic. What we can do is actually go for, we have stuff like Grey Merchant. We don't really have a lot of Devotion going right now. We do have Abysmal Horror, which I think makes him discard a card, if I'm correct. We'll see, though. That's something we can get down. And we also have stuff like New Scrap Mob, which is going to give us some pretty good zombies on the battlefield. So, but it's a lot of fun. When I originally built Grenzo, it started out as a Goblin Tribal deck, and that was fun. You can get down Mana Echoes, and you can go infinite with Grenzo really quick, and makes for a fun game. But at the end of got Emrakul. Okay. Let's see. How do we want to sequence this? Do we want to go for some blind fires? Would that help our opponent out? Yeah, I guess we'll see if there's something we can do about that. Let's go for Mana Crypt. Yeah, let's go for some blind fires. Oh, that worked out perfectly to where they can't use Big Game Hunter to for Big Game Hunter. They can't use it to take care of Grenzo. Oh, that's awesome. I love that. Let's go for one more activation. That Thief of Blood took the counters off of Grenzo. I was worried about them taking control of our turn. We get Avalanche Riders. Yeah. Let's make some trades. Avalanche Riders on the snow cover. Oh, this is beautiful. I'm loving it. All right. So I normally don't run land destruction here, but this is exactly basically I've won the game in my mind. I've won the game. So even if we lose to Emrakul or something like that, this is exactly what we need to get going. And the fun thing about Stylus is that we can use Avalanche Riders, not pay that echo cost, and put it on the bottom, and really start ripping through our opponent's lands. Um, Pretty good. All right. So opponents will get down to Emrakul. That's the only downside, is that with Emrakul, they're going to take control of our turn next turn. But depending on what we draw into, we have Big Game Hunter in the hand, which is not really going to do much. Once we do get down Big Game Hunter, that will allow us to take care of Emrakul. About the only thing that they can do is, yeah, let's see what can they do. So the Mana Crypt, they'll choose heads on this one and then get it wrong and lose two. Actually, if they choose heads and they get it right, then we won't lose some life. So Echo cost on Avalanche Riders. I guess actually if they wanted to, then probably the best thing they could do is, with us having Stylus in Avalanche Riders, they probably should pay that Echo cost, because that'll keep us from getting that loop out of the bottom with Stylus. And then, because at this point right now with Avalanche Riders and Stylus, we just basically put it on the bottom. We don't pay the echo cost that goes to the graveyard. We use Stylus to put it on the bottom, and then we can kind of keep bringing it out to kind of taking care of some of our opponent's lands, basically keeping them off land drops, and then we're looking at Big Game Hunter. So if they want to keep it on the battlefield, they should probably do that. That would help them out. If not, then we can... Oh, and actually, now that I think about it, Avalanche Rider... Ooh, can they target our own lands? They can pay for that Grenzo Blindfire. Okay, I just not thought about that. Yeah, let me see. I can't remember. I'm trying to get this pulled up real quick. Excuse me, Avalanche Rider is destroy target land. So yeah, so they can do that. Thankfully, we still have Mana Crypt and Soul Ring, which is not... It still allows us to get a couple Blindfire activations, so we're still okay. Unfortunately, they're gonna get a taste of our own medicine with Avalanche Riders, so it's gonna turn into Avalanche Riders game, which I'm absolutely thrilled about. I like this. Okay, so we'll be sitting in Avalanche Rider and Grenzo. Let's see how they're actually going to offer up blocks on this. And actually, I misspoke earlier. I was thinking if Stylus was put target card from a graveyard on the bottom of your library. Stylus is put target permanent you own on the bottom of your library. So we probably could have sequenced that just a little bit differently now that I think about it. Because for some reason, I just had it stuck in my head that it was out of the graveyard. So, but either way, we still have Golem that we can put it on the bottom of our library. We just need to get Grenzo back onto the battlefield. And unfortunately, it will be 4 total mana. But with Mana Crypt and Soul Ring, and then hopefully... If somehow we have to discard a card, we can at least go for Big Game Hunter on Emrakul. But at this point right now, we are looking at put target mountain on the bottom. Okay. Okay, so we get the Mana Crypt trigger. Let's go and choose Tails on this one. So this point right now, we just need to hit a black source or some sort of land drop. Right, lots of flip. I think we're 0 for 2 on our Mana Crypt triggers. Drawn to Stomping Slabs, which does not really help us at this point right now. So I guess at this point, so we're looking at Emrakul coming across for 13. We can't get down Big Game Hunter because we don't have access to that black mana. And we don't really have any sort of enter the battlefield option. I guess what we'll do is, I guess we get down Swiftfoot Boots. That's going to be 1-2. Yeah, because Emrakul does have Trample. And it's going to be, we can take care of Emrakul with Big Game Hunter, but yeah, it's not looking so good. Let's go and move Swiftfoot Boots over onto Thief of Blood. And then anything else? No. Let's go ahead and pass the turn to our opponent. So, long story short, we need to hit a black source to be able to get down Grenzo. I got so excited about blowing up our opponent's lands that I forgot that Avalanche Riders can also target, didn't say opponent's lands. It's going to be able to target our land. So that was pretty good play by our opponent. And then maybe I could have sequenced that turn a little bit differently with that Stylus, but either way, it's been pretty fun. And what we will do is we'll go and chump block Thief of Blood on Omnath. So to go into the graveyard, that's not necessarily something that we really want to rip right now. And then I guess if we want to have it set up, we'll have, ooh, Prime Time's coming down. Ooh. All right. All right, so we got Prime Time coming down. I guess at this point right now, what we'll probably try to do, and it's not going to help us out, well, we'll still have at least one more activation. We'll use the Golem activation to put Avalanche Riders on the bottom. That way, if we do hit a black source, what we can do is at least have access to that, and we can start going for Grenzo activations with Panharmonicon. So it's going to be about our only option out of this one. We are, well, actually, excuse me, we're even looking at 11 life total. So Emrakul coming across next turn. So even Avalanche Riders doesn't get it on this one, because that 13, and then yeah, they're gonna have a ton of trample damage. So let's see what we draw into. Either way, it's not looking so hot. We still have stomping slabs, which can deal some damage, but we don't have another stomping slab, so that won't do anything. All right, so we're gonna choose Tails, puts us down to 8. We draw into Toxic Deluge with no black mana to cast it. Good game to our opponent. They're gonna get it on this one. Unfortunately, we did get to go for the Avalanche Rider Panharmonicon Dream, and we could have gotten the Stylus down. I just completely forgot that it was target permanent instead of target card out of the graveyard, and just a little bit of mix up right there. But you can see where Emrakul got it done, taking control of our turn. That was definitely a good line of play by our opponent, taking care of some of the stuff in our hand. And if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye. Welcome to Grenzo's Goons. Hope you're excited to go down to that dungeon and start unlocking some of those jail cells. As far as our opening hand goes, this is wonderful. We have no lands. Let's go Mulligan. Doesn't sound that good. And then we have Volrath, Urborg, Foreboding. Yeah, this is good. We have Read the Bones. Yes, I will keep on this one in a heartbeat. Stomping Slabs. Let's see if we can't get some land drops going. Let's go put that on the bottom for right now. And then anything else, we'll let our opponent do their thing. They are on the play. We are playing Grenzo, Dungeon Warden. Grenzo enters the battlefield with X+1 counters on it. Then for a 2-mana activation, put the bottom card. There we go. Let's go ahead. Any certain way we need to sequence this. We'll go ahead and get down Foreboding Ruins. Yeah. Nope, not going to be able to rule anything, and we're going to kick it back over there. And then Wonderful Island by our opponent. It's one of my favorite basic islands. But yeah, for two... But yeah, for a 2-mana activation, put the bottom card of your library into your graveyard. If its power is less than or equal to Grenzo's power, put it on the battlefield. All right, let's go ahead and get down Urborg. Opponent's going to love that, as they have just nothing but islands over there. Yeah, let's go ahead and go for Swiftfoot Boots. It's going to be 1-2. And that way we can get a little bit of protection from Grenzo and kind of start working through there. Anything else, we'll go and pass the turn to our opponent. Playing against Talrand, the Sky Summoner. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, create a 2/2 blue Drake creature token with flying. And I'm loving the basics they have over there. This is it's a whole just... Yeah, it looks good. Love the old school basics on Magic Online. Always looks just really nice. Let's go ahead and get down Mountain. Let's see... Are we walking into a counterspell at this point? Yeah, we'll go and go for it. Why not? And the way this deck is set up is that everything is it's designed to get down Grenzo on 2, so we don't have to really, other than just wanting to swing in on our opponent or something like that. We can pretty much do the entire deck simply getting down. We got Mana Drain for 2. You got it, buddy. Anything else? We're going to kick it back over there. But yeah, the whole deck is designed to basically operate on two power or less, because there's a lot of creatures that have some sort of enter the battle. I just now noticed that it add Meteor Golem to the deck that is a 3/3, so I'll see if we want to leave him in here or not. So I think that's I just saw it on EDH Rec and I was like, oh yeah, that'd be a good addition, but I forgot he has a 3 toughness, which is not going to work out for what we're trying to do. Let's get Grenzo pop back up. Let's go and get down Volrath Stronghold, and let's go and go for Grenzo again. It's going to be red, black. There we go. Didn't run into Spell Snare that time. And then we'll go and pass the turn to our opponent. Kick it back over there. It's been a long time since I've played Grenzo, but kind of the main idea of what we're going for with this deck is we have a lot of stuff that has some really nice into the battlefield triggers. Stuff like that can make them discard a card. We have some land destruction stuff. So this is a pretty gnarly deck, to be perfectly honest. So we'll see what we kind of get into. It may be a little bit of a shorter game, but just kind of depends on what we've got going on. Let's go and tap on Volrath Stronghold. That's going to give Grenzo Hexproof, and we don't really want to swing in at this point right now, so let's see if we can't set it up pretty well for next turn. So let's go and go for Read the Bones. That's one of the fun things about this deck, is you kind of have to keep track of stuff that's going on the bottom, like especially when I'm recording. I have to get out, run into Dissolve. Yeah, that's going to get it. They're going to get that Drake token and then scry 1, so unfortunately we're going to miss out on Read the Bones, and then... we already did make the land drop for the turn. Yeah, we'll go and pass the turn back over there. Don't want to swing into that Drake token, and we'll kick it back. But yeah, you have to keep track of what's going on the bottom part of your library. Just kind of like, if you go for a Brainstorm, you need to keep track on what's top. When you're playing Grenzo, you have to keep track of what's on the bottom. But Grenzo is definitely, I think Grenzo was the third or fourth commander that I ever built for my channel, and so he always has a special place in my heart. Let's go and get down Void. It's just a fun deck to operate. I love it. Let's get the Scry going. See what's on top. Lightning Greaves. We do not need that. We're going to definitely put that on the bottom for right now. Yeah, you know, that's going to put us on just enough mana to go for Hoarder's Greed. So let's do that. Let's go for Hoarder's Greed. Like I mentioned, we might be running into another counter spell, but so be it. At least need to kind of get this going. Okay, opponent's going to get down Disdainful Stroke. Counter target spell converted mana cost 4 or greater. Yep, that's going to get down to Hoarder's Greed. Uh-oh, sorry about that. That's going to get take care of Hoarder's Greed and give them a Drake token on the battlefield. Now, we do know that Lightning Greaves is on the bottom at this point right now, so even if we wanted to blind fire, it wouldn't be that good. I guess technically we could if we wanted to get it out from beneath the bottom of our library. We might end up going for that, but we'll see what's going on. And then also, our opponent looks like they're playing Talrand, mono blue, counter control. And before the comments get a little hot or anything like that, hey man, this is what Magic's about sometimes. That's what counter and then get Drakes on the battlefield. That's pretty solid game plan for Talrand. So definitely like what they've got going on. It makes it kind of fun to have to fight through a ton of counters, because once you get that win, it makes it that much more satisfying. You know what? Let's just go ahead. We know Lightning Greaves is down there. Let's just go ahead and kind of throw that into the graveyard. That way we can at least kind of have a fresh look at the bottom part of our library. Then we draw into Blood Crypt. So we 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Either way, we're going to be okay for 3 activations off of Grenzo. So let's do this. Let's go and get down to Cliffs. Let's going to enter the battlefield tapped, and then let's go and pass the turn to our opponent. At this point right now, I'm basically going to be going for just blind fires off of the bottom of our library, and hopefully we get lucky. One of the best blind fires I ever got off of Grenzo was Jace's Ingenuity. Okay, draw 3 cards. One of the best things I ever got was Mind Claw Shaman off the bottom, and I was playing against Riku, and they had a I can't remember the name of the spell, but it's that one where the guy's like holding his hand, like, or maybe it's like Urza or something, but it's take 2 extra turns after this, and so I got to cast that out of their hand for free, and that felt really good. Definitely enjoyed that. And there are a couple different ways to go infinite with Grenzo in here. We get stuff like Workhorse on the battlefield. We add that mana to our mana pool. Workhorse, it enters the battlefield with 4+1 counters on it. And they remove a counter from it to add a colorless piece of mana to it. Not colorless piece of mana. We add colorless mana. So basically, it enters the battlefield for 4. And we can kind of keep looping through our deck. So now there's not necessarily a win condition that we have on that to win with, but yeah. It's a fun way to kind of start cycling through your deck to get some pretty good stuff going. Opponent's going to go for Cataxian Probe. As far as board wipes go, because these Drakes are getting a little out of hand, we do have Damnation, we do have Toxic Deluge, so hopefully if we can draw into one of those, we can kind of clean up some of these Drakes. All right, then we swing across for 6, that will put us down to 14. And let's go for some blind fires. Let's go for it. Stomping Slabs. Night's Whisper, and then Ashnod's Altar. All right, so next turn, let's see what we draw into. Draw into Swamp. That's going to be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 coming across. So we can still at least kind of hold off. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8 is going to be on the Swamp. So let's do this. Let's just go and pass the turn to our opponent. It's going to give us at least 4 activations off Grenzo. Might get lucky. Somehow we can stop some of this from happening, and then be okay on this one. The fun thing about playing Grenzo against a counterspell deck like our opponents is that it's an activated ability, so at least we're not having to hard cast some of this stuff. You know, the thought of tapping out for Thief of Blood for 6 mana and then it getting countered is just like, oh, the Mystic Confluence. Just draw 3 cards, get a Drake token. It's pretty bad. All right, so we're going to wait for our opponent to swing in on this one, and then we'll go for the Grenzo activations. That way, before we go to blockers, we can kind of see what's going on, but if you're keeping score at home, it's not looking good. We're going to try our best, though. We'll see what we can get done. Okay, so we got 6 Drakes coming across for 12 damage. Let's go and go for these Grenzo blind fires. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Okay, that's not too good. Then it stole it. I love that she's such a diva that she gets on the battle. I think it's a she. Yeah, I love that she's such a diva that when she gets on the battlefield, she's like, "I'm going to take these boots from Grenzo. Give me your boots, Grenzo." That would be something somebody in a dungeon would do. Once I got out, be like, "Hey, give me your boots." All right, let's go for one more blind fire. Maybe we get lucky. Keep our fingers crossed. So we hit another polluted delta. Okay, all right. We got the Drake swinging across. will put us down to 2. So thankfully we don't have to worry about any sort of maybe they have Sonic Blast or something like that, but I don't think we have to worry about that. And we draw to Erratic Explosion. Either way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're still online for that, so let's go and get down Blood Crypt. It's going to come, no, we're not going to pay 2 life at 2 life. And then let's just go and pass the turn to our opponent. We could swing in, but we'll just go and leave him up. And then actually, if we end up going for that Swiftfoot Boots activation onto Grenzo, it's going to make it to where we can't have an activation, so we'll just leave it as is. Torrential Gearhulk. Oh no. This is not looking good, everybody. All right, so Torrential Gearhulk. Let's see what they're going to get. Bring back Jason's Ingenuity. Okay, draw 3 cards. Okay, now we're looking at basically, once again, 4 more activations. And if you have any magic gods that you pray to, now would be the time to pray to them. All right, so we got the Drakes coming across, their armies swinging. And let's go ahead and go for Grenzo. Blind Fires, let's do it. Vampiric Tutor. A little late to the party. It's not going to do much at 2 life. Well, we got 2 more opportunities. All right, so that's going to be at least... Yeah, we could target ourselves, so we'll get Mancer off of that. And they do crack, I was about to say, they can crack Scalding Tarn to reduce some of that damage. About the only thing we can go for, right, like, would be that Mindclaw Shaman. Out of their hand, we get to cast something. Alright, so we do hit Tumor Exarch, return target creature. And we'll just go and see what they've got going on in their hand, why not? Either way, we're going to lose on this one, but we'll still catch a peek. That way, if somebody's out there as a Talrand person, you can kind of see what we're up against. Oh, look at that. That is just brutal. And we'll just go ahead and make them... just going to get rid of an island. Either way, they're going to hit it on the Drake. So, opponent's going to get it on this one. Good game to our opponent. As you can see, unfortunately, we weren't able to get any sort of high-impact creatures on the battlefield, and the Drakes were able to take it. But it's always fun playing against a counterspell deck. It's always a rewarding challenge to see if you can beat some sort of heavy control deck. Unfortunately, our opponent did get it. You can see how impactful it is just simply sitting back with Talrand and not having any spot removal to get rid of Talrand, and when they get a ton of counter spells to take care of it. So good game to our opponent, definitely enjoyed it, and if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks, bye.